Hello. A lot has happened since my last video. It's been another long amount of time. Probably a couple months, I don't know. Here. Let's start a new one. This one will be called... I don't know if I've already done this name, but... Gamerland. And it'll be survival. I don't really know where to start for this. Yeah, I don't know. There have been lots of things I've been feeling recently that have really been weighing me down. There's been stuff that has happened recently that has also weighed me down. I feel like I have so little control, you know? Here, we're gonna build here in this winter wonderland. I feel like I have so little control over my life, you know? To like get into just the easiest way of describing how I feel is I feel like a cog in a machine, you know? And like, that probably sounds cliche, but it's true. I feel like my life is at the whims of the people in power, you know? So like rich people, they basically own the world at this point. Like, think about it. They have you so reliable on, like, you know, their products, their food, their, you know, different payment plans or whatever. Yeah, I'll build here. Should I? I don't think so. Let's go into the forest. And the whole world, with, like, concerning society at least, is designed to... Will this be too loud? No, it won't. Is designed to exploit you. Ugh, my game be lagging. So, like, think about it. People advertise you these really unhealthy foods that are, you know, not good for the human body. And, you know, they make money off of you buying these things because they taste good and they're really addicting. And then, you start having negative health effects from consuming all those products. Where do you go? The doctor. The doctor also wants your money. So they offer you things to help, but not necessarily solutions. Because if they offered you a solution, then how else would they get money? That's just like a small bit of how I feel we're not going to be playing Minecraft for a bit now. We're going to go to a classic, Jezz ball. Yeah, I know it probably seems random and I just pulled this out of my ass, but whatever. What else to talk about? The education system does not give a shit about you. It was one of the people that I have the most beef with is a guy by the moniker of John D. Rockefeller. When I tell you I hate that guy, I hate that guy. Oh, that was a bad one. Okay. He is the reason the school system sucks, basically. Because think about it. He was a rich guy that, is guise the right word? I don't know. With using, disguising it as a charitable cause, he affected the way the school system structured, and how I feel like it was, at least. I'm not sure. There's probably things actually talking about it. Even if it wasn't him, it's very clear that the school system's been structured in this way. And even there's a quote by him that went like, I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers. So it's very clearly that he fucked up the school system to be in a way that pumps out people that don't really think for themselves nor have the capabilities to provide for themselves, which is why, for me at least, I've never had a home ec class. I've never had a woodworking class. I've never had a welding class. Nothing that would provide, ways for me to provide for myself have been an option in school. And everything that they give you is, I know this is coming off as just, petty, oh my god, I got a bad grade on my test, the school system sucks. I know it's coming off as that, but still, I don't think it's wrong to critique the school system regardless of if I'm doing good in it or not. Where was I? But yeah, that's why you don't have classes that allow you to be self-sufficient or teach you to be self-sufficient, because they want you to be useless like that so they can sell you things and make money off of you. Do you see what I mean? I feel like I'm just dollar signs to these people, and to them my only purpose is for them to extort me of all of my money, and they're doing a really good job of making that my only purpose. And it just feels so inescapable. And I get that yeah, that's capitalism, and you're likely not going to escape that, but it gets to a point where it just feels very inescapable, and my life isn't mine to live. And that's been causing me a lot of stress and issues. Because then it just feels like, is it really all worth it? If my entire existence is dwindled down to me being money in these people's pockets, is it worth it? Is it worth being completely under their control? There's probably better ways I could phrase what I'm thinking. I'm not exactly in the state of mind to where I would be able to phrase my words as eloquently as I would want them to be. Low-key, this video will probably just be a lot of me yapping about why I'm really upset. I could throw in the expected, like, oh, the world kind of sucks right now politically for people like me, considering I'm trans. Which, like, it's funny, like, compared to all the other things I'm facing emotionally and just personally in my life, that the issues of me being trans and stuff, well, like, yes, there's still big issues and stuff, and they certainly do take a toll on my mental health, they feel smaller. Because it's like a yeah, I know, I've been dealing with that kind of thing. So I kind of had, like, time to just, like, let that soak in, and for me to understand that, like, hey, yeah, a lot of the world kind of just, like, hates me for being who I am, and, like, people are gonna treat me differently for that, and it's going to be very difficult to live my life because of that. Going back to the topic of school, I'm not really doing the greatest in it. But I think that's mostly just because of, like, my somewhat, would spiraling be the right word, mental health? I don't know. My dwindling mental health. On a on a much lighter note, uh, have you have you guys heard of the old the whole Trump Clinton thing? That's been pretty funny. If I end up releasing this video pretty late, me mentioning this will at least somewhat date it. It's been like a couple days that's been out. Oh yeah, I had another video recorded, but I don't know if I'll upload that one. don't really remember much of what I talked about in it. I just know that, like, it's old enough to date back to, like, when the Charlie Kirk thing happened. Like, that's how old the video is. So, like, a couple months old. Sorry that this gameplay isn't the most riveting gameplay. But I also just like seeing all the balls roll around on the screen. Well, god damn it, I have only one life left. I'm probably not gonna be able to make it. At level 7. You know what? Hold on. We're gonna try to play beta 1.7.3, was it? Is this the version I'm thinking of? Unless it doesn't work. I don't think it's gonna work. Oh. No clue what that was about. You know what? Let's just play Jezz Ball. There's another thing I could get into. This one was like... It technically spans like over a couple years, but it's become really relevant to me now. So, a couple years back, I had this friend that I also knew in elementary. And we were really close friends in elementary, and we reconnected in middle school. We became relatively close. But then one day they just kind of like stopped responding to me. They stopped messaging me. And like, I don't know if I did anything or what I did, if I did anything. Like, and that caused me a lot of distress for a while. But as time went on, I kind of stopped thinking about that as much, you know? And it started dying down. But recently, I went to an event thing for my school. And when my friends came up to me and was like, hey, I know you wanted to, like, you brought it up to me before that, like, you wanted to talk to them again. Well, they're here. And I was like, oh, shit. It's been like 3 years since I've seen them in person. And I knew, like, this was gonna be a thing of I could either spend my time enjoying the event, or I could spend the whole time being anxious and trying to talk to them and not enjoy the time with my friends. And, like, at least I was self-aware, you know? So, I did the reasonable thing. I split it amongst the two, you know? I hung out with my friends, I tried to enjoy my time, and I had a great time, it was wonderful. But I also stressed about that. And when I had finally got the courage to go up and talk to them, um, basically how the conversation went was like, hey, and they're like, oh, hey, and then I said like, hey, do you like remember me or recognize me? And they're like, no. Then I said my name, and they were like, oh, it's been a while. And then I was like, yeah, it has. And we just like, well, they were sitting, I think. I was standing in just like awkward silence. And then I think like I had to go do something, or they had to go do something. I like, it doesn't matter who, but that moment just ended in awkwardness. And then I tried to get another chance to talk to them, and like I technically did, but all I got to say was like, hey, and then they're like, hi, but then their friend went like, hey, let's go do this thing. I want to go do this thing with you. Which like the little voice in my head like makes me worry, like, did they tell their friends that like, hey, this person that I don't like is here, if they try to talk to me, can you take me away from them? Like, I hope that wasn't the case. What I wanted to talk to them about was like, hey, you know, it's been a while, and you would kind of like stop talking to me after a bit, and I wanted to know like, did I do anything, you know, to upset you? Did I do anything to like drive you away? Like, if you don't want to talk to me, that's completely fine. Like, I understand it. Because, like, I'm not gonna get all obsessive and be like, you have to talk to me, you have to talk to me. And, like, no. I'm mature enough to respect someone's boundaries and wishes to not talk to me. I just want to know if you don't want to talk to me. But then after that second time, they had to leave. And I fucked up. And didn't get to tell them what I was thinking. And that's been another thing that's been causing a great deal of stress. So let's, because this is like a somewhat therapeutic thing for me, making these videos, even though I've only done like 3, technically 4, and they've usually been like spaced out between several months, which is maybe indicative of some aspects of my mental health. Alright, so let's like gather everything that's been upsetting me into one place. Feeling helpless. That one friend that I don't know why they don't talk to me anymore. School. Being trans. Okay. I'm gonna start talking about this, and it's gonna get a little serious. It might put a warning on the video. If you don't feel comfortable with this, then maybe, you know, don't watch the rest of the video or something. I've been having suicidal thoughts. Yeah, I have been. And those typically don't have the best effect on one's mental health. You wouldn't think they would. Don't worry, I haven't attempted, I haven't hurt myself, I haven't done any of those things. But that's also something that's been weighing on my mind. And like, it kind of came with the thoughts of feeling helpless. It came as part like the package deal. there's technically this is also a thing, but it's like something smaller and that like isn't having as much of a toll on me, but is technically having a toll on me. There's a friend group of guys I became friends with in like middle school and stuff. I still try to keep in contact with them. Like maybe like 2 weeks ago, maybe one of the guys, some of them told me is like a creep, and they found out stuff about him. So yeah, there's been some like drama, I guess, in that friend group. And like it's bad. Like he's a bad person. Um I don't know how long I've been recording for. I think okay, I know what I'll finish off with. And it's one of the more recent things, and by recent, like literally 2 days ago. And one of the bigger things. So like it was about midnight. I decided to go in my backyard, and I wanted to call the suicide hotline because you know, I had been dealing with those thoughts. And I didn't necessarily feel like it in the moment, but it had been something I had been meaning to do. I called, got connected with this guy, really nice, really soft spoken. It was chill. And, you know, I talked to him for a bit. I told him a lot of the things I actually told you guys. And, you know, after a bit, we'd been talking for a while. And then my mother came outside, and she didn't know where I was. And she got after me because it was like 1 in the morning and I was in the backyard. I had to go inside. She took my phone, then like kept asking who I was calling. And like I had to tell her, you know? And I don't really have the most open relationship with my parents. At least like I don't feel comfortable telling them things. I never really have. You know? So this was greatly upsetting for me. I don't think anyone would really like telling their own mom that they were calling the suicide hotline, so, but especially for me. And yeah, I had to deal with the uncomfortable stuff about that, having to be forced to open up about things I didn't want to open up with about her. And like it still doesn't really feel real, you know? Like I've yet to even talk to my dad. I don't know where he is right now, probably work. I haven't really had a conversation with him since. So like I wonder if like my mom told him, and next time I see him he's gonna be like, hey, let's talk about this. And then like I'm gonna be forced to open up about stuff again. Yeah. Well, like, sucky place to leave the video off at, but yeah. I would like to make more videos. But, like, I don't know. As you all can clearly see, I don't have the most consistent upload schedule. I just kind of do it whenever I see an opportunity that I actually want to. But, yeah. See you guys later. Have a good night, and night, day, whatever time it is for you. And take care of yourself, alright? Bye.